Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome back to Construct Your Life with your Wednesday Rant. This is Austin Linney. Hope you all are having a great day. You know, I've got a couple different thoughts in my head, so I really don't know where this is going to go, and this is kind of the fun of it. We're just going to let it go where it goes. I'm going to talk about a couple different things, just life, happiness, choices, you know, how we're living each day. You know, on this earth, there's a finite time. Tomorrow is not promised. Never said it was. So what we do every day, what we do for ourselves every day, mainly, is really what we have to stand on. And, you know, I did a podcast a couple weeks ago about absolutes, and I think that it all falls together in choices that we make, you know, in every day. And the question that you have to ask yourself is, like, are your goals and like you're living your life, are they for you or are they for somebody else? If they're for you, then amen. Champ, let's go. Like, let's fucking go. But if they're because you need to get to some number or you need to be looked at in some certain way, that's failure. That's not success. I mean, that's just the truth. I don't need anybody to give a fuck about what I'm doing. I care that they care about what I'm doing, and I appreciate and fucking love all the support. But at the end of the day, they're not going to pay my bills, nor is anybody else going to pay your bills too. So I just want to make sure, I mean, I have the greatest friends in the world. I have the greatest business partners, employees, and it's because there's a mutual love for a common goal that the company has and we have as people. But at the end of the day, it all reverts around and centers around you as a person. That's it. And who you are as a father, who you are as a husband, a boyfriend, a man, a woman matters. And it matters more to yourself, right? It wasn't until I realized the concept that what was really breaking my heart, what was really tearing me up from the inside, was because I viewed myself as a failure because I never finished anything. So it wasn't my mom, it wasn't the alcohol, it wasn't the drugs. Those were problems, for sure. But it wasn't the issue. The issue came down to the broken promises that I kept for myself, happening over and over again. And that eats at the inside of your confidence and your happiness because you deem yourself as the trials and tribulations that you went through as some sort of you're not worthy or something. And this message, if it finds you today, like, you're enough. Like, as you sit here today, you're enough. You are only capable at executing on the ideas and thoughts that you have in your current capacity. Think about that. That's it. Are you supposed to know some magic thing that you don't know already, and that's why you're beating yourself up? That makes no sense. No sense. I mean, come on. We know what we know when we know it. That's it. And so everybody falls in love with trying to get somewhere instead of falling in love with the journey. True happiness, right? True happiness is about pushing out the external forces, the external thoughts that come into your mind. Meaning, you know, I don't know if you should be doing that. Like, who says who? If this is what truly makes you happy every day when you wake up, then how can somebody be mad about that? How can your spouse be mad about when you say, I want to stop drinking? Well, I know, but excuse me? I'm doing this for me. I'm trying to be a better person. But what happens is the society norms is we are a herd mentality. We're a herd pack animals. So when you try to do better, when you start personal development, when you start investing, when you start caring about your goals, you're pulling away from them. So they're going to do everything they can to pull you back down to their level, because when you're at their level, they're comfortable with where everything is. It's not until you pull away that they start freaking out and the fangs come out and the negativity, because they're just so used to the comfort level. It's not that they're mad at you or don't want to see you do better. It's just that it makes them look at themselves in the mirror and go, am I doing enough with my life? And that's scary for people. Extremely scary. Like, does anybody understand? No, that's the wrong phrasing. No, you don't need to understand. But I'm just going to talk about me. You don't need to understand. That was really ego right there. I was an alcoholic for 20 years, right? And in the restaurant business, it's just kind of norm. Your day off, you start drinking. I love alcohol. I'm romantic about alcohol. And it's not until you quit that people come up to you and go, yeah, maybe you should have dialed it back. I was about to tell you it was getting a little out of hand. But when you're living in your own shit, when you're living in the moment, how would you even know? But you have to break the cycle, right? And so it's not about going out and saying that I'm going to change my entire life in a day. It's little wins to get to happiness. An extra day at the gym 3 times a week. Like my coaching clients, they need to be working on all of the systems, physical, mental, soul, working out, everything, because it's all interconjoined. And when you're operating at your highest level in true happiness, you're making a choice every day when you stand up that my standards are here. And somebody told me something last night that I thought was amazing. Because when you're around family or you're traveling, sometimes it's hard to say no to your family cooking dinner, or you're trying to be better about your goals, or that beer they're trying to put in your hand, et cetera, et cetera. And she said, how about you say, I would love to, but that doesn't align with my goals. Hello. That's powerful. And one of the things, because everybody hates saying no, that I've implemented with a lot of my coaching clients is just say that doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me anymore. You know what? I don't need that beer. I don't want that fried food, because you've chosen that you're going to care about your standards. You're going to step up. You're going to hold yourself accountable, and and notice I said you're going to hold yourself accountable. That's it. Because, one of the reasons that one of the things, the big glaring things for me is I'm a coach, right? That's what I want to do. I want to help people. But there's only so much advice you can give before you become annoying, right? Like with your spouse, with your other, like, hey, you should do better. I know, but you're not her coach. You're not his coach. And so you have to ask yourself, like, yeah, you're giving advice to everybody, but are you taking your own? Are your standards up here? Because by your standards being up here and you living your best life, people will follow. You don't need to tell them what to do, because 90% of the battle is them accepting it and being okay with the help, instead of you force feeding it down their throat, which I used to do. And it's very annoying. So all I do every day, and all I ask you to do every day, is to wake up and live for you. Simple as that. Don't need to change your spouse. Don't need to change whatever. You need to hold them accountable. But I mean, at the end of the day, you lead by example. And you lead by keeping your mouth shut. And you lead by doing, not overthinking it, keeping it simple. If this virus, if this situation that we're dealing with in America has taught us anything, is that we don't need a lot. We don't need a lot. Take that walk down the beach. Take your kids out to the park. There's so much joy in those little nuances. There's so much beauty in all those little movements. That's fulfilling. Fulfillment is the ultimate thing that I'm searching for. And to see that smile on that person's face, and when you give them a smile, or give them a gift when they weren't expecting it, like, that's pure joy. And we have been desensitized to turn on Netflix, to fill our calendars up to the max, so we feel like we're getting stuff done, when in essence you're getting nowhere. Because it's not power moves. They're sacrifice moves. They're rushing around. When you can stand firm, and you stand firm on your schedule, and you stand firm on who you are, there's so much power in that. So much power in that. And only you know what that is. I can't do it for you. But what I notice a lot about my clients is they live their life on a scoreboard. I know, but how many calls did I make today? How many books did I read? Like, I got a client. How many books? Like, he's obsessed with reading books. I'm like, yeah, but you haven't even learned any of the information, because it's better for you to say I've read 40 books instead of I read 10 books and I understood all the words. Stop living your life on contracts and real estate deals and all that. It doesn't matter. Because ultimately that scoreboard will never lead to happiness, because it's just a scoreboard. And so many people wrap their lives around the identity of their job. And only when they do good in their job does it mean they're a good person. I'm here to tell you that is fucking horseshit. That makes no sense. So if you have a bad day at work, or your boss yells at you, does that mean your life's shit? No. You had a bad day at work. Maybe you had a great day with your kid after work, where you read him a book and taught him something. Stop classifying your life on identity. Stop classifying your life on, well, I know, but I'm super successful at that job, so that makes me important. Who cares? Who are you as a person? Who are you as a husband when you show up at home? Are you involved, or are you tuned out? Only I can't answer that for you. But in this day and age, with Netflix and all these things, and bringing work home and all this stuff, and of course you got to work. Who doesn't have to work? I work a ton. But what I'm learning very rapidly is, when I'm having a conversation with somebody, I put my phone away, because I've been called out too many times. And that's the God honest truth. And it hurts. So I'm very intentional about my conversations now in person, because it matters, because that matters to that person, that I give a shit, that I'm engaged. So I just want you to ask yourself, when you're around your friends or your family or your kids or your daughters, are you being intentional about your time? Or are they getting second best? You have to ask yourself that. I'm going to leave you with that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.